Our ARQ composure algorithm caught 3 attempts at market manipulation today. The monthly time frame is exposing some compelling targets worth mentioning. The immediate short-term upside resistance can be viewed from the biweekly chart, and the daily volatility versus momentum stat play is fulfilling nicely. Welcome back to the channel. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this Thursday. This is ARCa, and let's dive in to ticker symbol FNGR. So let's go ahead and take a look at our ARQ composure algorithm that we just released just a few weeks ago on pre-order, right? So if you are interested, go ahead and get in touch with us so that you have access to this power. So take a look at this, team, right over here. These X's mark attempts at market manipulation. So whenever those X's come up, usually we tend to get an upside and then an immediate capitulation to the downside, right? So these X's have been marked throughout the entire trading history here. Oftentimes, right? Like right over here, we just get huge capitulation after these X's are presented, right? So generally they are a bearish signal, but they can be used for a potential correction to the upside as well. In this case, what I'm thinking is that the manipulation presented itself. We got an upside here, and this would have been a liquidity trap or some sort of a liquidity grab, right? And then only for price action to really capitulate and face further downside here, because it's incredible how we didn't see price action really dip after these iterations. So there actually is one more read, right? So of this manipulation candle, and they're hiding it in so many different time frames, right? So this is 2 iterations here on the minute time frame. Let's look at the 30-second intervals and notice that these were the 2 time frames that we looked at right over here, okay? And there's one more right here. Okay, so very curious that we would be getting a bunch of manipulation signals here. It really shows that there is some struggling happening with the asset, right? So 3 individual manipulation signals and absolutely failed, right? So this was a natural decline here, but right over here, right? But as soon as we got that little pump to the upside, they really manipulated this thing and shot it to the downside, shot it one or two more times to stop it, got that upside run, and they were gonna, short the crap out of it at this point, and then we would face the downside here. But the bulls took immediate control, and we did not let go of that 575 bottom, as you can see right over here, right? So very clean moves coming in from the bulls, and we are still looking pretty fresh, pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and just pull this back here. I'm going to put it back, I think, into the, I'm pretty sure I had it in the 4-hour time frame where I am observing this ascending channel. We'll go ahead and see what this is, but so far it feels a little forced, so I really don't want to speak about that channel just yet. And yeah, we'll move forward from there. Now, let's go ahead and go over an indicator that I actually scripted, right? So this is actually Substance. And Substance is giving us some upside targets. And by the way, to the current holders of the ARQ package for the indicators, both of the monthly subscriptions and the lifetime holders, I am preparing a channel in Discord where you will be able to gain access to the other strategies like this, like Substance and the reversion variant and the other, literally the other strategies that I've put together. You've heard of them already if you speak to me often, right? The golden death strategy, the Long John silver strategy. We have a few of them in the algorithms, right? So I'm going to set that channel there. And if you are a subscriber to the ARQ algorithms, you will have access to those additional strategies and codes to your leisure, right? So go ahead and get in touch with us at arqindicators@gmail.com, and we'll get you situated. So what I wanted to present here is actually a very curious indicator. So what this indicator displays is actually the relevant resistances and support by time frame. So it's telling you that this would be your 4-hour support at 593, your bi-hourly support at 604. We have a resistance here at the 4-hour at 612, and it does display the potential targets that can be shifted live. So this is active. When the market is open, these are continuously moving depending on the volatility of the price action, right? They're consistently adjusting. So why I pointed this out is because of the relevance or the correlation between the monthly resistance at 787, almost $8, and the monthly Gaussian band top. Right, so that's a very curious correlation that it has right here, and I'm pretty excited to see the fact that it is correlating to that top side. And just for you, just in case you are already a holder of this algorithm, go into your settings back here, and you can set the look back period per line, right? So this is your monthly look back line. This is your weekly look back line, and these will adjust for the monthly resistance and support all in one shot. So these are my parameters right now that I'm actually currently looking at, right? So the daily time frame, yes, you see 252 days for individual trading days, meaning the 252 total days throughout the day count throughout the year, right? So that's how many trading days we have. And yeah, so this, just know that you will have access to this as well. So I am finding this very curious, and now it makes me feel like we may actually be making a run to that top side soonish, right? So now, of course, I already put up a Twitter comment saying that 618 to 621 is a short-term resistance before facing our immediate resistance at 716. 716 can then lead to this top side of the Gaussian bands at 787. Now, the biweekly time frame is also very curious here, as this would present a very short-term resistance, and it is indicative of 631, right? So right at the top side of the Gaussian bands here on the biweekly, okay? So what I can tell you is that the last time we did this, right, Sebastian Lim, the ARCa analyst, and my apprentice actually showed and displayed this in one of his analysis threads in Twitter or X, and he compared the current validation process that we're facing right down here before a breakout, and he compared it to this iteration right over here, right? So the last time we actually started to break in and started validating these the mean band, that was the time where we ran from $3 to $17. Okay, so in this case, it's very similar to it. Okay, so it's looking very good. But yes, an immediate short-term resistance located at about let's see, yeah, I'd say about 634. And we already spoke of that target though, right? So we already know that. It's just a lot of confluence here, a lot of targets rhyming with that potential top side. And this was where I actually showed this on the Twitter post, right? This is what I mentioned. Here is that very short-term resistance between 618 and 621, right? And the run to the upside would be right here to 716 at the top side of this wick, right? So that is what I posted up on Twitter, just in case you were curious over how I came up with that. Well, that is how it is. Okay, now the 5-day descending broadening wedge, right? This wedge is actually presenting to us a very curious resistance level here too, which is same thing, right? The same 7. Actually, this would be corrected to 716. My apologies. Right, so everything is rhyming pretty nicely. There we go. Okay, so you can see how close we're getting to that resistance top, and all of these targets are literally rhyming with each other and suggesting a continuation to the upside. We just opened the new 5-day iteration here, and we closed it obviously with a very, very bullish hammer candle. I'm sorry, green candle prior to that. So that is a confirmation candle, and we are likely to continue on to the upside here. Okay, so what I want to mention here is that there's been a little bit of talk regarding my top side. Okay, so my top side has a few tops to it. First of all, the one that I've been talking about for quite some time now is the 1283 target, and that target is acquired by actually just taking into consideration the genesis of this descending broadening wedge. So that would be how to trade this formation, right? You would just take profit at the genesis of the formation, and everything will be good, right? So that's yeah, the 1283 is very, very confluent with the 2 fib down here, right? So my range was actually from 7.11. I'm talking about the Fibonacci retracement range, $7.11 to $3.94. That gives high confluence here, or actually it's very confluent to the 2 fib at 1280. So 1283 top side on that formation. Now, I have talked about also this very macro scale inverse head and shoulders, right? This would be the neckline for that inverse head and shoulders, and this would be the price objective. So you figure that by taking trend line from the the neckline all the way to the bottom side where the head is located, and then you apply that to the top side of the right hand shoulder, right? In this case, you can see that this would be indicative of, I mean, it's just, I can't, there's no way that I can validate this myself. I'm just saying that this is how to trade this formation, and this would be a massive bullish buy formation breakout. And with that kind of pressure and that kind of thrust, it just becomes part of the deck of cards, right? So it's now on the table. It's there. I guess there are different influencers speaking of different targets. So I guess I'm an influencer now, kind of putting this on the table. So I'm just going to drop it there and just leave it brewing, right? So, and you will do with it what you will. Like I said, I can't validate that we would go up there, but it's very clear that that's how you trade this, right? So that target is showing 3147, which has it's rhyming very nicely with the 3.618 at 3315. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and highlight that 3315 to the bottom side of that 31. Let's see, I think we had it at what was it, 3147. Okay, so this is essentially the resistance that we would be looking for upon that kind of break. And again, team, I don't know that it's gonna happen, right? But what I can say is that typically, let's just say, for example, theoretically speaking, if we blew through the $12.83 target, our resistance range would be here at located between the 2.618 at 1841. Let's see, man, I can't get it tight enough. It's okay. To the top side of this wick here, which came up to $17 flat, right? So that would be our resistance range. So in other words, what we're looking at here is the continuation to the upside. You get that resistance grab here, and then you would start validating the genesis of the formation. We would potentially chop around here for a bit, right? Validate that we are in a good area of support, and then we would continue onwards and essentially come back. We would touch that target, and then we would come back and then do this thing all over again. So if we do figure that this move has been essentially completed, then in that case, then we could actually now start facing some other pressures to the downside, right? Validate just like this again, and then continue downwards. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here, team. I'm not sure that that's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you that, figuratively speaking and theoretically, more than anything, that is technically in the cards, right? So now you have my topside targets. So it's statistically speaking, however, this becomes a little more of a tangible evidence. So volatility versus momentum backtest on the daily time frame throughout the entire trading history of the FNGR asset, I have come up with all of these sample sets, right? A certain condition of upside, duration, and then correct iterations versus incorrect iterations. That entire sample set has given us this data here. So 20 total iterations, 17 of which have been guessed correctly to the upside, giving us a very nice and healthy 85% upside accuracy. And the mean is coming up to a 33 spot 40% upside thrust. And the calculation of the standard deviation, aka it's 68% of the results right in here, is leading to a target consistent to, let's see, what do you know, 716. And the topside target is 716. Right where we were saying that breaking out of the 618 to 621, the Twitter post, right? That would lead to a slide up to $7.16. Even more correlation now. So now statistically, psychologically, geometrically, I guess mathematically overall, right? And yeah, several theories and strategies suggesting that topside. And the yeah, so if we're looking at the upper bound of the first standard deviation, which is right up here, that comes up to 68.52%, which is showing us a target that is highly confluent with the 2.618 at 882. Okay, so now if we were to, I think, let me see if we had anything there. I'm not sure if I do, but let's see. Maybe I can pull it up on Substance. I think it was on Substance. Well, right. It could have been Substance on the monthly. All right. So no, yeah, the monthly was showing us that 787 top, right? So even the bi-monthly is showing us consistency with that top side. Quarterly and yeah, everything is showing us that that top side is very consistent to that 787. So it's sticking to it. Very impressive. Okay, yeah, so 7-8, I guess we would have a massive, that's indicating that a lot of volatility would be coming in. So if we have this, yeah, it's basically saying this, right? So 787 to $9.80. That's the resistance. And of course, what do you know? It's right at the 50% of the dispersion is 880. Right at the center of this entire target is the 2.618, 888. And statistically speaking, 881 from the upper bound of the first standard deviation. So I'm telling you, there's just an enormous amount of things kind of rhyming here, right? So let me just go ahead and put this here because we will be observing this in the I guess maybe short term. Who knows, right? But yeah, everything is looking pretty bullish here, teams. I'm looking at, yeah, some maybe immediate short-term downside, but it's really short-term, right? The 6-hour time frame. Let me see the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, the 6-hour time frame looks like it's going to be the one to catch that support before a continuation onto the upside. So that would give some stragglers here the opportunity to potentially get long the asset, and that support, I guess we can kind of go over now just quickly, right? So let me just go ahead and get rid of the composer algorithm and maybe add the SMA 10 into this deal here. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So the SMA 10 here on the 4-hour chart would be 592. So if we do get that downside to 592, it would be incredible, right? Because that would really load up a bunch of straggling bulls, so that we can get some more upside pressure, right? So everything is looking pretty good here, team. I do expect a potential, right? It's not clear. The thing is that as we start applying more and more FOMO to this, that psychological component starts to kind of make the charts a little hazy, which is why I'm speaking to you in this manner. It's like, I guess that this is how to trade that formation. So it's suggesting this, $13 million target up there. So just, figuratively speaking here, right? So that's, I'm like starting to see where that haze is happening. That's why my targets are starting to get a little wider and wider with focuses being right at the center of these returns. So I think that, well, I mean, I think it's best for us to just continue evaluating this live as we have been every single day. So make sure to tune in. That would be, what is it? 6:30 to 6:40 a.m. daily on Pacific time, right? So I guess one more thing I just wanted to share with you. I guess I can just put it down with us now. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's use this chart here. And let's go to the monthly time frame. Okay, so here's the monthly time frame, and we have I've been researching the price action and the charts quite extensively, so that we can have an edge altogether, right? So this is a bullish crossover happening, the EMA 9 over the EMA 21. It is a traditional type of moving average strategy, and we did get that crossover just recently, and it's still pivoted towards the upside. The next moving average crossover to look at on the monthly would be your silver cross, EMA 21 over the EMA 55. It's about to happen, looking very, very, very juicy there. And then, you know what? I don't know which one this one is. Let me see what the other one was. Maybe it was just those two, but I just want to validate with you guys, right? So let's see. Right. Sorry. So this is the EMA 13 over the EMA 48, right? So the 1348 strategy, a lot of you guys know it as the review dork or short the VIX, or their collaboration, right? They have the 13 for, I think it was actually review dork that came up with that strategy himself. So yeah, the EMA 13 crossing upside of the EMA 48 is imminent here. And then, of course, very similarly, you would have your EMA 21 crossing over the EMA 55, your silver cross, right? So yeah, there's several traditional moving averages here. I guess the only one that wouldn't be traditional would be the 1348. But yeah, we have a lot of moving average strategies starting to cross over too, and it's looking like the court really is it really does belong to the bulls here. So yeah, any questions, go ahead and reach out to me, Twitter or Discord or here in YouTube, whatever tickles your pickle, right? Okay, so I think that's pretty good there. So please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. Again, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Yeah.